Previously, the battle between the branch house and the main house begins. Darius is cocky at first, but Aster quickly strips that confidence away and wins with ease. As the fight ends, Darius's father, who has been watching from above, starts coming down toward them. Now the next chapter begins. It is absolutely inconceivable to them. The youngest son of a mere Viscount house has actually managed to defeat the third son of the prestigious main Duke house. It's a massive upset, the kind of event that shatters reputations instantly and rewrites the social hierarchy in a heartbeat. But while our protagonist, Aster, stands victorious over his beaten opponent, the mood shifts from shock to dread. Heavy, ominous footsteps echo against the stone floor, silencing the murmurs instantly. A massive shadow looms over the scene, projecting an aura of overwhelming intimidation. It's Duke Roderick A. Elmheim himself, the head of the Elmheim main house, 8th generation, and a man whose presence demands absolute submission. He isn't just angry, he looks like a walking natural disaster. His son, the defeated Darius, gets up and rushes to his father, looking up with terror in his eyes as he calls out, "Father." In a desperate plea for mercy, he points to Aster as the person who would defy the main house, and his cockiness has returned, thinking it's over for Aster. He comments for his father to teach him a lesson. But there is no compassion in the Duke's gaze as he looks down at his son. But suddenly, something smashes into Darius's hand with great speed, causing his hand to be pushed into the ground. And we see it's a sword that caused the damage. We see Darius in shock at what just happened to his hand that had his 4 wings on it. The onlookers are also shocked at the scene. Darius's brother can't believe his eyes and is confused as to why. It's Duke Roderick. He sneers and declares that someone who lost a duel has no right to even hold a sword, effectively stripping the boy of his warrior status and his future. It's a brutal, visceral moment that demonstrates just how heartless Roderick is when his pride is wounded. But just as the Duke prepares to deliver another devastating blow, a voice rings out, cutting through the violence like a blade. It's the Viscount screaming for his brother to stop. Duke Roderick goes to punish his son for losing and comments that Darius has no right to wield a sword anymore. The room is completely silent and watching. Darius cowers in fear, but nothing happens. The Duke's eyes look down at who dares to intervene with him. It's Aster, stepping forward despite the overwhelming danger radiating from the Duke. The Duke looks down at this small challenger with menacing eyes, demanding to know what he thinks he's doing. But Aster isn't intimidated. He's breathing hard, the pressure immense, but he stares right back with burning golden eyes. He demands that his cousin apologize to his sister before any punishment is handed out. He even has the nerve to address the terrifying Duke as uncle, asserting a familial connection that the Duke clearly despises. The Duke's reaction is one of pure, absolute disdain. He looks at Aster not as a nephew, but as an annoyance, a bug that needs to be squashed beneath his boot. He brings up Aster's past, twisting the knife by mentioning that he heard Aster was just an orphan picked up by the Viscount Highfried. It's a low blow designed to shake Aster's confidence and question his place in this world. The Duke questions if this adopted stray really thinks he's part of the prestigious Elmheim bloodline just because he wears their clothes. His eyes glow with a menacing, magical energy, pressing down on Aster with a heavy spiritual pressure that would make most grown men buckle. But Aster doesn't flinch at the insult to his lineage. He shouts back with conviction, declaring that he is the Viscount's son. He explains that even without blood ties, he has been thoroughly taught by his father about a knight's pride and the weight of inheriting a house. It's a powerful declaration of loyalty and identity. He's asserting that family is defined by bonds and teachings, not just biology. The Duke pauses, perhaps slightly taken aback by the boy's resolve, but his expression remains hard as stone. He acknowledges that Aster, as a member of the Viscount house, has needlessly damaged the main house's reputation. He starts lecturing about the pride of the 12,000 knights under their banner and the king's sword. To the Duke, this isn't personal, it's about the hierarchy and power of the Elmheim name. Meanwhile, the noble spectators listen closely as the Duke continues that this is not something that can be dismissed as a children's quarrel, while a blue-haired observer watches with a smirk, clearly entertained by the unfolding drama. He reminds Aster that his father, Highfried, once offered up an arm as the price for his disloyalty. It's a gruesome revelation that adds layers of tragic history to the relationship between these two families. The Duke stares down at Aster with glowing orange eyes and asks a chilling question, "What will you offer?" He's demanding a physical sacrifice, a pound of flesh in exchange for the insult to the main house. It's a terrifying ultimatum for a 10-year-old boy to face. But Aster, sweat trickling down his face, grips his sword tighter. He shoots back that this wasn't a brotherly quarrel, but a legitimate duel to answer the insults against the Viscount house. He cleverly turns the Duke's own logic against him, quoting the Duke's earlier words about how one who cannot avenge himself has no right to wield a sword. It's a brilliant verbal counter. Aster declares with burning determination that he has no intention of giving up even a single finger. The defiance creates a shockwave among the onlookers. The blue-haired noble laughs in amazement, noting that Aster is only 10 years old yet possesses such unwavering guts. The Duke, realizing that words won't break the boy, decides to end this with force. He turns away, telling Aster to draw his sword. It's not a request, it's a death sentence. Aster goes to draw his blade, his eyes focused, ready to face an impossible enemy. But he is too late. The Duke raises his weapon and the air distorts around him. He unleashes a catastrophic slash, a beam of destructive energy that tears through the ground, aiming to destroy Aster completely. The attack is massive, a blinding pillar of light and force that dwarfs everything in the room. Debris flies everywhere, and the ground cracks apart as if an earthquake just hit. Aster's sister covers her mouth, fearing the worst for her brother. But his father screams out Roderick's name in pure terror, unable to watch his son be destroyed. He dashes forward, sword drawn, going to attack his brother. As he goes to attack, the Duke blocks the attack effortlessly and doesn't even look back. But the Duke understands that the Viscount isn't focused on this attack. As the Viscount's attack is blocked, he doesn't care about the Duke and dashes away from him. His priority is his son as he runs, screaming his name in worry. The dust slowly settles, revealing a broken sword. His father is now in shock seeing his son. Aster stands there in a fighting stance, unconscious from the attack, his sheer willpower keeping him standing. The sheer power on display here proves himself to the leaders of the respective houses present. Suddenly, he regains his consciousness as the light in his eyes slowly returns. Meanwhile, the Duke sees that Aster has survived his attack and decides not to pursue the matter further right now. He sheaths his weapon and turns away. He is not happy about what he did to a child, but understands that he is the head of the house. His son Darius follows behind, gritting his teeth from the pain as his father's cape swirls dramatically. Seeing that it's finally over, Aster falls from the fatigue of the battle. Just then his father grabs him and questions if he's okay. Aster, battered and bloody from the earlier fight and the pressure, looks at his father with wide eyes and manages a bright, confident smile. He tells his father that he protected it properly, his promise, and everything else. It's a heartwarming moment amidst the violence. Hyfried looks at the boy, his stern expression softening into one of acknowledgement. He tells Aster, "You were magnificent." It's the validation Aster has been fighting for. Meanwhile, the Duke is making his way up the stairs. The man from earlier comments that it was a childish outburst from Roderick. But if the Duke had let Aster say anything he wanted without any consequences, the main house's reputation would have been ruined. But it was a decent compromise to save the main house's reputation. And how Aster went against the great Duke himself and put his honor on the line to show he is worthy of holding the sword by taking an attack from him and managing to survive. That Aster is a rising star and a promising rookie. And he comments that Aster made such a spectacular social debut. While another noble comments that he was worried that this battle would separate the brothers, meaning that the Viscount would soon be as strong as the main house in the future. But the Duke's mind is on a grander scale. He senses that an age of upheaval is coming, a storm great enough to split the world apart. The chapter closes with Aster being supported by his father and sister, battered but unbroken, walking away as a true victor in spirit.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.